Coco Gauff makes history. Time Magazine's 2025 Most Influential People. A proud moment for all. The air inside the Time Magazine headquarters in New York City was electric. Cameras flashed, voices buzzed, and a single name echoed across. The digital screens lining the red carpet. Coco Gauff, one of Time's 100 Most Influential People of 2025. As a 21-year-old American tennis prodigy, stepped onto the stage wearing a tailor white suit that exuded grace and confidence, the audience rose to its feet. For a moment, the noise faded. All that remained was a thunder's applause of history itself, a collective acknowledgement that Coco Gauff had transcended sport to become something greater, a global symbol of change, hope, and modern heroism. From court to conscience, Coco Gauff's journey has always been about more than tennis. Yes, she is a Grand Slam champion. Yes, she's one of the youngest WTA players ever to reach the top of the sport. But what truly sets her apart is her voice. The calm yet fearless voice that speaks not just for herself, but for a generation, demanding fairness, empathy, and strength. When she first broke onto the world stage of 15, defeating Venus Williams at Wimbledon, she was the wide-eyed prodigy. Now, 6 years later, she stands as a leader, activist, and visionary, embodying everything the 2025 Time list celebrates, those who shape the future. This recognition wasn't just for her athletic excellence. It was for the way she's used her platform, fearlessly and selflessly to inspire millions. The power of purpose. Behind every headline, there's a heartbeat, and Coco's heart has always posed for something larger than trophies. She has spoken openly about mental health, about the pressure young athletes face in age of scrutiny and social media. She's raised her voice for racial equality, for women's empowerment, and for education in underprivileged communities. In one of her most quoted speeches at Youth Summit earlier this year, she said, "You don't have to be famous to make an impact. You just have to be brave enough to care." That line became a rallying cry. Schools painted on their walls. Young fans tattooed it on their hearts. The call that changed everything. It was early September when the call came. Coco was at her training camp in Boca Raton, Florida, preparing for the Asian leg of the tennis season. Her agent entered the room, grinning from ear to ear. "Coco, Time Magazine just called. You've been selected as one of the 100 most influential people of 2025. For a second, she thought it was a prank. Then she saw the official email. Her reaction wasn't explosive. It was quiet, humble, like someone who had dreamed of this not as a reward, but as a responsibility. "This isn't about me," she told her team. "It's about everyone who believed I could make a difference." The photo that spoke 1,000 words. The Time cover shoot took place in Los Angeles. The creative director wanted the image to feel timeless yet revolutionary. Coco stood center frame, holding a tennis racket in one hand and a book in the other, symbolizing balance. The athlete and the advocate, the competitor and the thinker. Her gaze was direct, powerful, unflinching. The headline beneath read, "The future serves back." Coco Gauff and the power of purpose. When the issue dropped, it became one of Time's highest trending covers of the year. Fans flooded social media with messages like, "This is what leadership looks like." Coco Gauff isn't just a player. She's a movement, a legacy born from inspiration. To understand why this moment means so much, one has to revisit the roots of Coco's journey. Born in Delray Beach, Florida to Corey and Candy off, Coco was raised in a family that believed in faith, education, and community service. Her father, a former basketball player, and her mother, a teacher, instilled in her the belief that greatness comes with gratitude. From hitting balls on public courts to becoming a teenage sensation, her rise was meteoric, but her values, those stayed grounded. My parents taught me that your name is only as good as your kindness, she said in a recent interview. That's what I want people to remember, not just how I played, but how I made them feel. That philosophy radiates through every gesture, because she supports, and every young person she inspires. The influence beyond tennis. Coco's influence stretches far beyond a tennis court. In education, through her foundation, Serve for Change, she has funded digital learning centers in underserved American communities, ensuring kids have access to technology and mentorship. In social justice, she continues to be one of the few elite athletes who speaks openly about equality, advocating for fair representation in sports and beyond. In mental health, Gauff frequently collaborates with psychologists and youth organizations to promote emotional awareness and self-confidence among teenagers. And perhaps most impressively, she does it all while competing at the highest level of tennis, proving that compassion and competition can coexist beautifully. The words of legends at the Time Gala, several global icons spoke about why Coco Gauff's inclusion mattered. Serena Williams, her childhood idol, delivered a heartfelt introduction. I see in Coco what I once dreamed of, a young woman who's not afraid to be powerful and kind. At the same time, she reminds a world that greatness can wear sneakers and still stand for justice. Reflections from home, back in Florida. Her parents watched the time ceremony on television, surrounded by friends and family. Corey, Gauff's voice cracked as he said, "She's still our little girl, but she's also everyone's inspiration now." Candy, her mother, smiled softly. We always told her, play with heart, live with purpose. Tonight, she showed the world what that looks like. A proud moment for all across the world. Social media exploded with pride and emotion. Filipino fans posted, "Coco inspires us all, not just to win, but to care." In Africa, Sports Miles held Coco Gauff Days to celebrate youth leadership. In Europe, Times cover adorned billboard with a tagline, "The Generation of Golf." This wasn't just a moment for America. It was a moment for everyone, a shared victory for those who believe that kindness and courage can change the world, the symbol of a new generation. In 2025, the world faces many challenges, divisions, uncertainty, and the quest for identity in an increasingly digital age. But Coco Gauff represents something enduring and rare, clarity of purpose. She's not perfect, and that's what makes her powerful. She stumbles, she learns, she grows, and she shares every step honestly. She's proof that influence isn't about being untouchable, it's about being relatable. The final serve. As the night in New York came to an end, Coco looked out the window at the city lights and whispered, "Thank you, God. Thank you, everyone who believed in me. Let's keep changing the world one serve at a time." It wasn't a victory speech. It was a promise, the kind only true leaders make. And somewhere in the hearts of millions, young athletes, dreamers, and everyday believers, that promise took root. Because when Coco Gauff steps on the court, she carries more than a racket. She carries hope. And in 2025, Time simply made official what the world already knew. Coco Gauff isn't just influencing the future. She is the future. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next,